Hi, I'm Eileen Anglin, and I'm voicing Project Cat, and this is the story of the faction behind her, the Order of Fenrir. Order of the Fenrir was formed from the amalgamation of the Committee of 300 and the Vermillion, orchestrated by the NWO, New World Order. Pre-war history. Prior to the bombs dropping, the Vermillion was working with interdimensional technologies. Initial tests proved promising. However, one test opened to a version of Earth overrun with escaped mutant Deathclaws. Some of these Deathclaws made it through the portal into the Fallout reality, and while most were contained, some were never found. This would prove to be of little consequences, as the bombs would fall less than a month later, and the remains of these non-native Deathclaws would later be found near the original test site. Less than a week prior to the bombing, the secretive NWO, New World Order, warned the Vermillion that nuclear war was inevitable, and they should prepare their population as they would be needed to rebuild the world. The Vermillion took refuge in their bunkers before the first bombs dropped, saving a portion of the Finnish population. The Committee of 300, on the other, had faded into obscurity after World War II. Fearing the loss of yet another member, they spread throughout the world, gaining power and influence. However, in the months leading up to the bombing, they gathered their wealth and themselves together in secret bunkers in Germany, awaiting the inevitability they had predicted. The bombs drop. At first, the Vermillion and the committee were unaware of each other. However, their bunkers were connected via wireless communication thanks to the NWO, who were safe in their own bunker. For the remainder of their time underground, the Vermillion worked to improve their interdimensional technology. Emergence. The surface and the birth of Fenrir. Prior to returning to the surface, the Vermillion, Committee of 300, and NWO all agreed that it would be better to create a new organization on the surface. This was to hide the fact that the old world organizations had survived the blast intact, reducing the risk of raiding. Fenrir, later the Order of Fenrir, was born. Created to mimic the structure of a private military company, Fenrir was used in all surface operations where muscle was needed. If infiltration was required, a committee operative would be sent in under the guise of a Fenrir agent. Dimensional raiding and the many worlds theory. A metaphysicist from Vermillion theorized that due to the infinite number of alternate dimensions that theoretically existed, there would be an Earth that had everything humans would need to rebuild to the state that they were in prior to the bombs dropping. At first, the plan was to locate a suitable world and remove the population. However, due to manpower shortages, this was deemed too dangerous. Dimensional incursions would continue, with the committee sending agents in to sway people in positions of power on advanced worlds. On less developed worlds, Fenrir would be sent in. Over time, a world with no humans, but an abundance of wildlife similar to the late 1950s was found, and a new plan was formed. This plan called for the construction of massive space stations that would be used to swap irradiated Earth of the prime universe with this pristine Earth. This would require advanced technologies and more resources than one Earth could spare. Due to this, temporal incursions would increase. Along the way, alternate versions of the Fenrir group were found, some on the verge of destruction. These doomed groups were rescued and absorbed into the prime Fenrir group. Because of this, they rarely recruit from the wasteland, and they have minimal training time, though they do take on wastelanders from time to time. The other plan. Anyone not in the loop about the plan to replace Earth has been told that the Vermillion is working on a state-of-the-art terraformer. This was at one point true. However, It was deemed that the Earth was beyond even the best-known terraforming technology. The terraformer was converted into a cover story, as it expected that some wastelanders could die due to location differences. Places that are flat on this Earth could be ravines on the selected Earth. However, the Fenrir group sees this as required for the greater good.